Yo, I'm your host Suicide, and welcome back to Marginal. Well, we left off with Rain's story, now it's this one. I think we're back to the Rain world. The story of the protagonist. I can hear the sound of rain. I had no idea what time it was now, but for some reason I woke up. Which is to be expected if you think about it. To suddenly come to a place like this and not understand what was going on, I just didn't have the nerves to be able to sleep soundly. Ow. I slowly opened my eyes while getting up. Since I had been sleeping directly on the stone floor, my back hurt a bit. Yeah, that's to be expected too. I dared to be pitch black, but you can somewhat see. Once your eyes adjusted, you could just barely make out what was around you. Of course, it was just a few meters in front of your eyes. Beyond that, the pitch blackness spread out wide. I guess it's like she said. If I were in a place far from here and it suddenly became dark, I might have been at a loss. And also, if there were no other place with a roof beside here, then it would mean no matter where you went, you would be continuously rained on. Thinking about that, my eyes drifted to the bench. Oh, you were awake too? Dots. What's wrong? Even for my question, there wasn't any real reply. In the dark, she was just quietly looking at me. No, she seemed to be glaring at me. Eventually, she opened her mouth. Because I don't want to. Huh? Not just her voice and way of speaking, even her aura had clearly changed. You're Rin, right? Okay. She spat those words out without expression. For an instant I thought she might have been a different person, but that wasn't possible. No matter how you looked, she appeared exactly the same, and more than anything else, I had heard that there wasn't anyone else around. What's up with you, just all of a sudden? No point? What do you mean? Blindly declaring that, she pointed outside to the falling rain. Well, I was planning on going back eventually, but I had no intention of going back in the dark while it was raining. I was supposed to have about 3 days worth of time. Well, if I start wanting to go back, I'll go back. No, they won't. I mean, time is stopped. It stopped, right? So if I go back in like 3 days, I'd still be on the same day, right? On the real world, I mean. Supposedly. Unfortunately, there isn't anyone to worry about me. Ha! Gotcha, bitch. But why though? It is? At those words, Rin gave a small nod. No, this wasn't Rin. They looked the same, but the inside, the personality was very different. If I had to give her a name, it would probably be Rin, like all caps. Oh, that's something that... okay. Okay. You could have, thought about it a bit more, but... whatever, I guess. During the day, when I said I would stay, she had been so happy. It was, in a way, the reaction of a different person. But this might be an opportunity. During the day, no matter what questions I asked, nothing would get settled. But with her now, I had a feeling I could get a clear answer from her. Well, I can go back immediately, but in return, can you tell me about this place? Yeah, I get it. Sooner or later, it was inevitable that I would be going back. Then at least it wouldn't be a big delay if I had answered the questions I had since coming here. Well, it was probably meaningless to know these things, but they were still bothering me even so. Then first, just what is this word? Then at least let me hear what you think it is. If nothing else, she's been here longer than I have, and from how she had spoken earlier, she had seen a number of people come here. A timeout room, okay. Timeout room? That was an unexpected answer. Who, when, for what? What should I be sorry for to begin with? With what?
知らないわよそんなこと。ただしこの世界の定員は1名よ。反省室なんだから。
Okay. Population of 1? Then what about me? With me here right now, that makes 2.
まだわからないの。つまりあなたは邪魔者だと言ってるのよ。
Oh, you're being rude. Getting in the way? I can understand the concept of being put in timeout. I had hated reality that much after all. But I didn't think I would be told I was getting in the way. Then if I were to go back, what happens? Just now you said that the limit is 1 person. What would happen if I didn't go back? Would it forever be 2 people here?
その時は強制的に返されるわ。
Forcibly? What does that mean?
これの言葉の通りよ。勝手に帰らされるわ。あくまでも今ここに2人がいられるのはわずかな例外期間みたいなものよ。
I see. There's that kind of rule in effect. Certainly, even in a place like this, there will be a huge difference between spending it with someone and alone.
だからさっさと帰って。どうせ強制的に帰らされるだけだけどね。
Muttering someone uncomfortably, Rin looked at me. Come to think of it, during the day she'd also said that there was a time limit of 3 days before going back. So essentially, if I didn't go back on my own, once that time is up I'll be sent back. But I had no idea what should I be reflecting on. If spending time alone in a place like this were to be a punishment, then I could understand their way of saying it. Well, the reasoning fits, and I understand it. However, it was a bit hard to take that explanation as the full truth. Since coming here suddenly, too many things have happened for me to allow that. If anything, right now, after this discussion, still nothing is registering. It all somewhere still felt like things happening in a dream.
あなた知ってた？1000年前までこの地球は宇宙の中心だったのよ。
What? What? I'm sorry. Suddenly, she started to talk about random
平ら
things.
な海の果てに大きな滝が流れていると信じられていた。
Yeah, heard this
たった
flat
100
thing.
年前まではウイルスや細菌すら目に見えない悪魔の仕業だと考えられていたわ。
What are you trying to
こん
say?
な世界があることを知らなかっただけ。あなたも昨日まではね。
Uh-huh. I knew what she wanted to say, even if it surpassed the realm of comprehension. There were things that existed. There was no point denying them. It might be that I should just accept it right now. I'm here. In this place she calls a timeout room. But, you know, even if that were true, I still don't feel like going back.
どうせ強制的に返されてしまうのに。
Yes. Yeah, if that's the case, I can worry even less and stay here. If I didn't go back on my own, then I would be sent back. That made things easy. There was no worry about missing the chance to return. Plus, even though I still didn't know much about living here, there was a chance that living in this world might be much better than the real world. I was tired of that world. If that were the case, I'd want to be here forever. Hey, is there a way to not get sent back? I mean, is there a way to stay here forever?
ないわ。
Flatly, that was all she replied with. I see. I thought that staying here forever also seemed good.
まあいいわ。どうせ3日ほどよ。それにみんなそう言うのよね、最初は。
Wait, what? Does something happen? What? With those words, she once again lay down on the bench. It seemed that no matter what I said to her, I wouldn't be getting any more replies. Huh? It's morning already? Waking to the sound of rain, I cracked my eyes open. Apparently, at some point last night, I fell asleep.
おはようございます。
Yeah, good morning. Before my eyes was the cheerfully grinning girl. Already, the aura she had last night wasn't there, and I was on the edge of doubting whether they were the same person. Well, about the thing that happened last night.
何のことですか？
Oh, no, see, last night.
ごめんなさい。やっぱり床に直接では寝づらかったですよね。
Yes, but that's not the problem.
あ、じゃあ今日は私が下で寝ますね。
The girl said that, seeming a little sorry. I didn't get the feeling that she was particularly pretending not to know or trying to trick me. It felt very normal and natural. So at night she's different? No, physically speaking, they were definitely the same person. However, the inside, the personality, might be better considered a different person. If I had to give them names, the innocent child was Rin, while the nighttime one was Rin, all caps.
それじゃあ行きましょうか。
Well, shall we go? Hey, go? I'm still not going back, you know.
いえ、そうじゃなくて、これですよ、これ。
Saying that, she pointed at the bench, and around it, the number of familiar
ほら、
artifacts.
昨日寝る前に話したじゃないですか。
What? Now that I definitely asked a question about the bench and the bus stops. Why was it that everywhere else had only aged stonework, but they spotted modern plastic items? Because she brought them here?
じゃあすぐ近くですから、ついてきてくださいね。
It's very close. Hey, wait! Once again, as if she didn't hear me, Rin happily dashed outside. Unlike last night, she seemed restless, innocent, like whatever she was doing seemed fun. But as if she thought of something, she once again turned back.
うっかり忘れるところでした。よかったらこれ使ってください。
What is it? Saying that, she handed me an umbrella, or apparently the remains of one. Are you saying to use it?
見た目は悪いですけど、ちょびっとは雨も防げますから。
Okay, but really, it clearly have a few panels broken, so you couldn't really count on it to stop the rain. And as far as I could see, it was the only one, meaning if I were to use it, then she would get wet.
私は慣れちゃってますし、昨日はベンチ使わせてもらったから気にしないでください。
I mean, just share the umbrella. I mean, it's broken, so I don't think that would work really well, but... With just that, she once again flew outside. Her figure splashing without an umbrella was simply cute. Really, a big difference compared to a night. There were many things I didn't know about her, but she might not be a bad child. While watching her happily splashing in the puddles with just one shoe, I had that thought. but this rain just keeps coming. It wasn't large drops like in a sudden evening shower, nor it was cold freezing rain. If I had to describe it, it was like the misty rain that fell during the rainy season. And the remains of the umbrella I was lent before. As expected, it didn't feel right using it alone, so we used it together. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, even if a single person were to use it, it didn't look like it would do very much, sorry to say. I don't think you're covering him, you know? I mean, it doesn't look like you're covering him at all. I don't think that's how umbrellas work, you know? I guess? For some reasons, Rin straightened proudly. Honestly, I didn't think it made much difference whether we used the umbrella or not, but when asked with such a happy smile, I couldn't do anything but nod. Well, I mean, if you don't cover yourself, that's no way that it's going to make a difference, you know? But really, coming here, it's been just rain the whole time. Hey, does the sky clear up sometimes? Always? I see, an unending rain, huh? For some reason it felt well suited to the place's mood. Last night she had called this place a timeout room. I think I understand why. To be in a place like this and have rain falling constantly, anyone would become depressed. I didn't understand what it took to to become placed here, but after a while a person might want to go back to the real world. But then, when did you come here? A long time ago? Exactly how long ago? When she said that, her expression appeared just a bit lonely. But, well, it's natural, I guess. Even in time in the real world was moving, here it was stopped. Being here, there wasn't a way to know the flow of time. While looking at my stopped wristwatch, I nodded. And I also thought about yesterday for an instant. That perhaps this child had been in this place since a long time ago. If I recall the question I had before, well, she knew what an elevator and other modern things were, so she couldn't possibly have been here that long. Saying that, she pointed. In that direction, mixed with the sound of the rain, you could hear the sound of something like waves. An ocean? No, a river? In a world where worn flagstones stretched forever, there was suddenly a river before a rise. However, for a river it was so big that you couldn't see the far shore, nor its source or destination. You just couldn't see where it went off to. And there, if you look closely at the water's edge, you could see a number of familiar things washed ashore. Is that a TV? And next to it a vending machine? However, everything was broken. On top of that, they were soaked in water, so you could only call them garbage. Besides which, there wasn't any electricity, nor were the outlets, so even if they weren't broken, they'd be useless. Yeah, that's why you take plastic stuff, cause that doesn't really ruin with the water. Looking at other things, you could see that half were already buried in sand. I see, that explained the mystery of the bench. It had been a mystery as to why modern things only existed back there, but apparently she had brought things back from this place. I mean, she, brought back the whole bench alone. That's supposed to wait a bit, but okay. Well, I mean, she said that it wasn't far, so it's understandable. But why did she bring the stop sign? Like the bus stop sign? For what purpose? And she said it. floats here, but it seemed more accurate to say that they wash up here. Well, even if they all become broken pieces of garbage, at least they're all modern things. They were all familiar things that I'd regularly seen up until yesterday. Oops, I cut her up. Oops. Before I processed what she said, she dashed over to the waves. Thinking that she may have found something important, I rushed over to see. What? Jump? Oh, the shonen jump? At her feet I saw a familiar collection of manga, and it was one that had just been recently sold, so a relatively new issue. Well, I mean, it's gotten washed up by water, so I don't know what condition it can be in, especially considering it's paper. But with a bit of a serious face, the girl picked up the soaked jump. Feels like that can come floating down? I couldn't help but be somewhat impressed. Dots. After that, we walked along the water's edge, looking to see if there was anything that stood out. From what the girl said, there wasn't all that much that washed up. And of course, there wasn't any way to tell what would arrive. Basically, most things didn't even retain their original shapes. On top of that, if you let something for a few days, it will drift off somewhere else. And so, when she finds something useful, she takes it back to that place. By the way, shoes seem rare. So that's why she's only wearing one shoe. All things considered, the unbalance was fascinating. Okay. I don't know why, but okay. Later, we strolled along the water's edge before going back. Along the way, we found a Nissan catalog, and Rain was super happy about it. That part of her seemed to be the same as any other girl. I mean, she's gotta get bored at some point, so anything like she can read to pass time is good, I guess. Once again, we returned to that place. I looked over at her. She was holding the weekly manga we picked up earlier. Well, there's nothing you can do. It's not like one will come every week. From what she told me before, if you were lucky, they'd come one after another, but they otherwise might not come for a few months. And plus, it's really hard to hold onto the concept of time here. At the least, each day passed with a night and another day. But weeks, months, years, you need to create a calendar and check it without fail every day. So probably the only way to judge large periods of time was to use the things that flowed here. As for smaller time periods like hours, I just had no idea. There wasn't anything like a clock and the sky didn't seem to change. I had a feeling it was around noon, of course. That was just my gut feeling and I couldn't tell anything besides that. Yeah, people have like an internal, how's it called, biological clock, because they are used to getting up around the same hour and going to sleep around the same hour. Even if you can't actually see the hour, you feel about what kind of time it is, because that's what your body is used to, and that's the reason for jet lag, pretty much. Because when you reach a certain hour, even if the sun is up in the sky, and the place where you're in is like day or something like that, you might feel like tired because at some point you start releasing serotonin, I think it's called, and you get sleepy and tired and all that stuff. Is something wrong? No, I'm just wondering what time it is.
ちょっと待ってくださいね。少し見てみますから。
You can look, actually? Saying that, Rin hopped outside. And then, after she gazed at the sky for a while...
だいたい午後2時くらいじゃないでしょうか。
How did you tell? You can tell from looking at the sky?
全く同じように見えても、実は少しだけ違うんですよ。
That reminds me that yesterday she said that night was coming.
まあ、あくまでも目安ですけどね。何よりその時間が合ってるかどうかなんて確かめようもありませんし。
Well, that's true. I'm thinking about it. I'd gone more than a day without eating, and I wasn't hungry at all. That made judging the passage of time even more difficult.
そうだ。とってもいいものあげましょうか。
What's this very nice thing? What's that?
それは見てからのお楽しみです。
Okay. Saying that, she started rummaging through the small cardboard box next to the bus stop, towards the rear. Hey, I don't know what you're up to, but I don't need any drenched manga.
そういうのじゃないですよ。
After waiting a bit, she came back with a small tin.
たくましきドロップ。
What's that? Oh, I haven't had those in ages. Heck, I didn't know they still made this. I remember eating them all the time when I was small. Oh, so it's
こ
food.
こって食べ物系が流れてくることは超レアなんです。たまに見つけても濡れてドロドロになってたりして。
Well, I mean, they're in the water, so... Well, there's nothing you can do about
そんな
that.
わけでじっくり堪能してくださいよ。これを食べるのは何かの記念の時限定なんですから。
I mean, time doesn't actually flow here, so they shouldn't even rot. So they can, like, keep it forever, I guess. Saying that, she happily rattled the can. She probably was imitating how lotteries were drawn, though that smug face she was making was pretty amusing.
外れが出てもがっかりしないでくださいね。
Wait. Is it the things that, like, they have, like, the colored, like, beans, and they can taste either good or bad? That thing? I know. Then she opened the tin and tilted it towards my palm. A single candy rolled out. Yep. It was, how do you say, expected, or even cliché, that white one. Of course it came out. That bad white one.
なんで一番いいのが
What?
いいの
Hey, wait a minute. White Soul was the bad one. Everyone knows that.
何言ってるんですか。発火最高じゃないですか。
Okay, so it's not what I was thinking about. I don't get it. Well, I get you like the white one. You can have it, I guess. I looked around as the rain as it continued to fall. No, at the rain that would never end. While looking at the sky, the two of us put the candy in our mouths. In the end, I wound up trading my white with a grape she got. The grape flavor spreading in my mouth felt extra sweet. It's okay, I was completely wrong, okay. You know, that's a pretty strange feeling.
ここってお腹も全然減らないですからね。
You don't have to eat, never get sick, don't age, and can't even die. At night, Rin had sarcastically said that it was a timeout room, but depending on how you thought about it, you might be able to see it as heaven. This might just be pretty amazing, no, wonderful even.
素晴らしい。
Well, think about it, out in the real world, everyone's working so hard to eat. And there's sickness, death, and so many worries too, I'll bet.
そうかも。
Well, here you don't have to worry about anything.
ちょびっと寂しい気もする。
Lonely? Why?
そりゃひもじい思いは嫌だけど、だからこそたまに美味しいものを食べた時は嬉しいのかなって。
You have a point, actually. She was speaking somewhat gravely, since she was usually so bright and cheerful. That sign left a strong impression. Oh, it's over. So, because some of these chapters are like an hour long or might be even longer, I don't think I can get like the next one in this episode, so I'm just gonna cut it out here and then continue on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. I've been your host Suicide, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye bye.